Hello and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining. Trigger warning. Sorry, I'm still under the weather, so it's a little hard to talk. I'm trying my best to get through this, but there's a couple of cases I wanted to talk about and get opinions from other people about. So we know that, Kiely was found with her vehicle, and Adventures with Purpose found her shortly after they got there, which is amazing. I am happy that her family could have closure and, they can lay her to rest. She deserves that. I do believe her mother, when her mom was saying that she knew not to drink and drive, about being irresponsible. And I get it, she is 16. 16-year-olds really aren't responsible. But with how the mom was talking, I truly believe that if Kiely felt like she needed to have somebody come get her, I think she would have called her mom and told her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she would have just got in her vehicle and drove away if she was that inebriated. There's a lot of fishy people around this case, and originally I felt that there was an older male involved, like mid-30s, and then when that guy came up, that Ryan Upchurch was talking about with the cousins, that kind of just made me feel I was on the right track about it, and it kind of made sense. If you think about it, there are unfortunately guys out there who are married, they have kids, or not even married or have kids, but they're older and they try to be like the cooler old person that lets kids get away with whatever they want, like underage drinking and stuff, and maybe even supply these things for these kids so they can kind of like fit in. Obviously, to 16-year-olds, that's not going to be a red flag, but like to an adult, that is a red flag, because there's something nefarious going on there. And I still feel like there's an adult involved. And I feel there's multiple people involved. The fact that they found her so shortly after looking for her in the same exact area they were told that was searched, part of me wants to say that, yes, maybe it was a cover-up, but part of me is leaning more towards that there was somebody privy to the investigation, like somehow knew what local law enforcement was doing, and they possibly hid her in her car until they felt it was clear, and then put her, in that specific area where she was found after they felt that like all the searches were done. I don't think anybody knew that Adventures with Purpose was going to come out, or maybe they did and thought that they wouldn't search there because it hadn't been already searched. I'm not sure, but I feel like she wasn't there, and that's why she was missed, because I can't possibly think of how she could have been missed. Either it was a cover-up or she wasn't there and placed later, okay? And I know it sounds pretty far-fetched and kind of like off the wall, but if you look at any of the cases, there's lots of impossible things that have or that we thought were impossible that have come to light and just kind of give you that wow factor, like, holy crap, that happened. And I feel like Kiely's case is going to be one of those. And I'm not saying that there isn't other people involved, because I think there are. I haven't really watched all of the videos on Kiely, as far as like that lady talking, that Zanny May or whatever her name is, but I decided to go back and look. While I was doing this, things started popping up, red flags all over the place. And part of me wonders, did she know Kiely? Or know of Kiely? Was there some sort of an obsession there? Maybe it's not a 30-year-old male or an older male that's involved. Maybe it's a woman. I don't know, the lady gives me just very bad vibes. There's just too many red flags and quote-unquote, coincidences that just are alarming. And, I could be completely off, and, I might be, But I was just curious how anybody else feels about her. You know, if you follow true crime, and there's certain things you look for, like the insertion into a case and stuff. And if you go back and listen to what this lady says and what she has claimed to have done, and, you know, see everything, you kind of get alarm bells going off in your head, like, you know, like, well, that's not okay. It's pretty sketchy. So I'm just curious if anybody else feels this way. That she's more than just some random person on YouTube acting like a nut job. But I don't know. Something tells me there's something sick going on there. And she may, you know, Kiely may not have even known her, but I feel like she knew Kiely. So I don't know. I just get really bad vibes off of that chick. I really feel that Kiely's mother was telling the truth about, you know, her daughter being responsible and not, you know, not drinking and driving. And yes, I get it. She's 16 and everybody has their opinions. I'm not saying anything else except that I feel like Kiely, if she felt that she was in a position where she couldn't drive and didn't want to stay there, I think she would have reached out to her mom. She wouldn't have had any reason not to. They had what seems like a very, very close relationship to where she can go to her. So to me, that right there tells me that there's foul play too. I don't think this was her simply being intoxicated, getting in her car and, you know, winding up where she was. I truly do not. I don't think this was an accident. I think it was made to look that way. The other case I would like to talk to you about is Jolissa Fuentes. I'm sure everybody heard Adventures with Purpose is going there next, and I am so grateful. I found out about her case shortly after Kiely's. Artic Fox and a couple other people had put up, like, you know, the missing poster on their community page, and when I saw Artic Fox's, I went and looked into it, and I was reading through some stuff, and it took me a while, but I don't feel like her parents were 100% aware of what she was going through as far as how well she was handling the death of her friend. And after one of the articles I had saw, I feel like she probably made it look like everything was okay on the outside, even though on the inside she was falling apart. And I know nobody likes to talk about the S word. I don't think it's allowed to be said on here, so the unalive part of it, of oneself. I found out that the person who, you know, passed away, yes, that was her friend, but that was like her other half, and that was her yin to her yang kind of thing, you know what I mean? And let's be honest, teenagers, young adults, especially in that age range, are very, very good at putting on what I would like to call a mask. You know, they put on that fake smile, truck it through the day, and then when they're by themselves, that's when they let it all out. You know, after seeing the first article and hearing everything that the parents felt was going on, part of me knew, just by them saying she liked to frequent the place with I believe it was the vineyards, she liked to frequent that place to kind of deal with her emotions. To me, that was a really big red flag. And I know people do that, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean a red flag, but for whatever reason, I really did feel like that statement right there was pretty much all I needed to hear to figure out, I guess, in a sense, what this outcome may be. It's sad because, you know, nobody wants to lose their child underneath any circumstance. And it breaks my heart because, you know, if you look around our world, there's so much that goes on that kids deal with nowadays and young adults have dealt with nowadays that we didn't have to when we were younger. And I feel like that took a big toll on people's mental health. And I feel like the world we live in now, a lot of people say isn't different than back in the early 90s and 80s, but it seems like it is. I personally think that people have become very good at covering up how they truly feel, whether that be depression, anxiety, anger, something nefarious. I feel like people have found a way to really put on that mask or that show enough to make things seem okay. Or maybe it's that the rest of us are just ignorant and are choosing not to see what's right in front of us, or are ignoring signs and not wanting to admit to what's happening. I really don't know. I just hope that Jolissa is found, and I hope that, she can be at peace and that her family can be at peace. I honestly feel like when somebody loses a child, that there is never any real justice or peace, because it doesn't bring that person back. It doesn't bring that child back. So I feel like those are just words that are used trying to comfort those, because there really aren't any other words you can use. And it's sad, because I feel like we shouldn't have to live in a world like that where you have to worry about that. My hope is that they do find Jolissa, and in my opinion, I don't think she's with us anymore, but hopefully they find her and she's okay. I don't think it'll turn out that way, but I really feel like she's going to be brought home, and I think Adventures with Purpose will be the reason she is. I think they are a wonderful organization. I've heard about them before, but had never really looked into them too much. And when Kiely's case came about and I saw what had happened, I was blown away, and I had to go look. So, if you want to donate to a good cause, donate to them. They are literally bringing home people's babies. You know what I mean? They're bringing home missing children that people have been missing for years, because everybody is somebody's child. And they're doing good work. They are trying to bring what little peace they can to these families. Like I said, there really is no justice or peace that these people will ever find that are going through this, but it's a little bit better knowing that they can find their loved one and lay their loved one to rest. And I think that is extremely important, because I feel like whether it's a person missing or it's just their remains, everybody deserves to be found. Everybody deserves that chance. And what these guys are doing is absolutely wonderful. Again, sorry, I'm really sick, but I just wanted to, go over those couple of cases and get everybody's opinions on them. And thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and take care of yourselves.